Hello, Tobin.
Hey, what's up, man?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Hey guys, sorry for the little delay, but I think we had some technical difficulties, but now it should be fine. So welcome to the Suprastudios. We're here down in Mönchengladbach in Germany, and we're streaming live the first time. So the first time never works out perfectly, you know that, but okay. I think we have some questions to go over, and if you have some questions, also just use the chat button. I think we will hook you up with the chat button later. So
yeah, or if you got other questions, just ask them in the comments at the Google Hangout. So, Torben, you introduced yourself already, and said Suprastudios. We are here in the holy walls of Suprastudios. Tell us more about the Suprastudios, please.
yeah, okay. So I've been making music for a long time, but 1 or 2 years ago I had the idea to make it much more professional, to make music on a professional level. And so I've built them over 1.5 years with my friend Marcel from Mash Designs, and we built everything up here. And it took a long while, so I'm really happy what you can see here. It was a lot of work, and yeah, the Suprastudios of course are a professional music studio, so it's not only hardstyle music or just from one brand, but it's also radio jingles and intros, and we support other producers also here with tips, and also do the mixing for their tracks. So that's what we do here.
So basically, a lot of different stuffs are happening here.
That's right.
A lot of projects. So, but you also got your own projects in here, not only radio jingles, but also you're working as an artist.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about your current project.
Okay. So I have two projects running right now, and they're both in the hardstyle scene. I'm gonna call the most famous ones. So it's one is Cellrock, and the other one is from Twilight Forces. But Twilight Forces is originally two guys, Ingo and me. We're old friends since we were 10, but Ingo is not in the music business anymore. And I also wrote some music for the Overminds back then with Super Marco May and Ingo together, but we're not active in that one anymore. So, but this is my own project. So.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. So you're currently doing that Cellrock project we talked about. Tell me, what is Cellrock? What is Cellrock about? What is this whole project?
Okay, first off, I got to start because I had another project running for the whole time, right? So it was Twilight Forces with Ingo, and Cellrock is a relatively new project with starting in 2012. And I just had the feeling I need to develop my sound in the direction where my heart and my soul is. So, that was the start of Cellrock. It was nothing forced. It was just naturally. And yeah, I have been listening to a lot of music in the last years, and to bring it down to the program, to bring it down to your own production is It's really complicated, because sometimes you want to go with the mainstream, or you want to go to be successful, but then you lose yourself as an artist, and you just want to do the sound what you really feel and like. Otherwise, it feels like cheating on your girlfriend. It doesn't feel right, you know, like you're doing something wrong. I was really lucky to find a label with Theracons back then, with my old friend Peter, Mr. Thera himself, and they brought me a little platform where I can release my music, and they said, hey, we love your music, we love what you do, you're clearly different than other DJs and producers, so we would like to welcome you, and I of course said yes immediately.
That's nice to hear. So you are you're doing a lot of stuff with the Cellrock. How is it for you? Is it a 9-to-5 job? How do you combine your producer life with your private life? Do you have to make big decisions like canceling a birthday from someone for going to a gig? How do you combine that, and how is that job for you?
Yeah, I try to hit the birthdays. You know, you cannot cancel everything. But obviously, if you make music on such a level, I think the music hardstyle is very time intensive to produce and to make, and it's nothing you can just have after half a year of training. I'm a producer since 7-8 years. I'm still learning every day, and it's so complicated, and the track sometimes takes 40 hours or so, maybe more. I don't count it, but it's a lot of work. So yeah.
40 hours, that's a lot.
Yeah. So to come back to your question, yeah, of course sometimes it's a 9-to-5 job, and when you're not done and you need to finish a track because the label wants to have the track.
Deadline.
Yeah, or a deadline. Okay, but Therachords is not working with deadlines, but with other projects, for a radio or so, or a jingle or so, you have to put it there, and if it's not done, you gotta finish it in the night maybe sometimes. So
a lot of sleepless nights.
Sleep at night.
A lot of Red Bull.
Yeah, Red Bull sometimes.
Well, can we say that name here?
Energy drinks, right?
Energy drinks, of
okay.
course. So you said 40 hours for a track. Now that you said the word track, it's a perfect transition. You released your first release at Cellrock. What did you use for the track? So which program did you use?
Okay, so I'm working with Logic 9, and I've been using Logic from the very start, and maybe Logic 5.5 maybe. So at least my start, not the Logic start, but this is a sequencer, and I feel very just comfortable using it. And I can also. Would you like me to show you something?
Yes,
all right.
Show us Logic a bit.
Okay, so it might be looking a little bit complicated for you guys, but it's basically a little system where you can put little parts together, and there might be a lot of non-producers out here, but you have little parts, and you have all kinds of instruments. So that means you can have a clap. You have a clap in every track, and you say, okay, here's a claps. And in the gaps where there's no blocks, you don't have a clap. But if you add a clap right here, you can hear it. But I decided not to put something here. So it's like a movie. If you wanna have an actress or actor to appear in this situation or in this scene, you can just decide. So it's like a time capsule, and you can put everything you want here. And the other thing is, of course, the instruments itself. So you need to have synthesizers, as you can see here, and different machines where you can make sounds. And of course, we also use samples. Samples are pre-made sounds, like you can just walk out with your microphone and record some birds or record the waves of the sea. I'm gonna show you that one later. So and that's how we work here in a sequencer in the DAW.
Okay, so you told us about what you work with. So now, when a track comes out, let's talk. Where does the track go when you finish it? We will go later on a track, but first, tell me what happens when you finish the track? You send it to Therachords. What is Therachords?
So Therachords is my label, and their job is to release the music. So I'm a musician, but I'm not an expert in spreading the music. So, and they are my home, my family, my everything. But of course, their work is also to spread it to iTunes, to hardstyle.com, to create a cover, a music cover. And maybe it's you can see it on the website also, a music cover and the idea behind the release, and they also choose which tracks fit the best in what time. So the label is very important, and I'm very happy to work with Therachords on that way.
Okay, so you got a lot of good words for Therachords.
I do actually.
Luckily.
Yeah.
So we got a question already from the internet from Robco1990. And he asked, how does it feel to be signed on a label like Therachords? There were friendship and professionalism professionality comes together. So how does it feel to be on that particular label?
Okay, it's a very good question because he mentioned two important things. And one thing is the friendship. And of course, everyone got a job. But having a job where you have good colleagues and good people around you, I mean, it's still your life, you know. You spend so much time working in your life, and if you have a good team and good people with that, that's the most important thing. And maybe sometimes even success isn't that, or money isn't that important. If you just feel alright, or if you feel good. You can live with 200 euros less every month. So, yeah.
Okay, so we talked a lot about what you work with and where you release it. So let's go to the track itself. Your first release at Terror Chords was Summer is Calling. A
That's
very,
right.
very summerish track. So let's start from the complete beginning. Where do you get your inspiration from?
Okay, yeah, in this particular track, it was summer 2012. And yeah, the funny thing was I was showing this program to my sister. My sister is older than me, but I actually just showed her what this program is capable of. And yeah, so I started with a melody or some chords even I had in mind for a long time. And yeah, we can go over those chords for the first time.
Yeah, please show them.
So I have to adjust the volume, I think, first.
So we can get into your workflow.
Okay, so I was just adding some chords I was thinking of the whole time, and I started with the piano. So and I was thinking, what should I do with the chords? And I just had a chord progression in my head the whole time. So, and you don't hear a beat or anything, I started with those chords in my head, and after you hear the chords, yeah, your thought progress is going on, and you think, okay, what's the right mood? And yeah, there are a lot of non-musicians maybe here on the live stream, but this is a moll chord. So a moll chord, which is actually yeah, known as to be sad, and this is also a sad one, right? It sounds a little bit sad, but then it's gonna be happy on this one. So it's Dur, or we call it Dur in German. I hope that's a perfect English word. And yeah,
major and minor.
Well, major and minor.
Yeah, this
okay.
is the major chord, the heavy one.
Okay, so.
Okay.
And yeah, so I was just working on that, and we can have a listen. Of course, you have nothing in the whole track besides this idea, just the chords. You don't have an instrument which is playing. Of course, now I loaded in a good piano in that, but yeah, we didn't have anything. And now I added just a little pad for that, so you can hear a little bit feeling under it. And after listening for this for, I'm not gonna say 100 times, but a lot of times you just close your eyes and have a feeling. And of course it was summer, and I was showing the stuff to my sister. So here are the chords again as a yeah, pad. We call it pad, just a bassy sound, and yeah. And then okay, hardstyle or trance music or dance music always has the synthesizers. You can see some here, and you start with the basic tone of your synthesizer, and it sounds horrible. I'm gonna show you. It sounds horrible.
Yeah,
the basic sound. So.
This sounds more like a Game Boy.
Yeah, it sounds like a Game Boy, but this is the start when you open your synthesizer the first time. This is the start of it. So, and you have horrible feelings when you play it, but you can hear I already made the melody complete. You could hear you could hear just more harmony and melody right now. And that was the second progress. And yeah, and then you work on a synthesizer to match the feeling of the track. So and yeah, you can hear it. And I added a little filter just to feel it. Okay, and now it sounds more like something alive and not a dead Game Boy which you hammer on all the time. So
sounds like hardstyle.
Does it sound like hardstyle for you?
Yes, already like the filter curve and the way it's opening, it rises already.
Okay, yeah, it's
typical hardstyle feeling, the power of the lead.
Yeah, it's something exciting. But where you gonna go with that? Of course, you don't have a bass and no instruments, and yeah, you can see I've like 56 instruments in this track. Maybe not all are used, but let's say over 50 instruments. So there's a lot of work to go from here. It's just like 1 or 50 steps to go, and then you also work on those blocks, of course. So, and now I added something which is quite because it was summer. I added some effects which sound like summer. So let's check it out. Okay, so you hear something from the jungle. It's actually a synthesizer. It's nothing sampled from the jungle. Yeah, from the rainforest. Thanks for helping me out. But it's a synthesizer, and yeah, sometimes you have your ideas, and sometimes it's going good, and you can find a synthesizer tone just like it, or you know how to tweak it. So it's also a lot of work here. I made this one with silent, and yeah, I just worked with that a lot with this synthesizer, and also with this lead. We call it the lead, which is playing the melody. So it's just like a keyboard, but we call it the synthesizer lead sound, and I made this especially for this track, this lead. So it sounds a little bit summerish and not too dark, for example, like I do in other tracks, of course, but not in this. Yeah, and yeah, after this progress, I was lying in bed and was just blown away from the melody because I really loved it. I know it's gonna be something, and yeah, I called my friend Allison. She's yeah, a Native American, and she lives here close by, maybe 10 kilometers from here. And I said, okay, you gotta come over in the studio. We gotta do something together. And yeah, she made the wonderful vocals. I'm gonna show you with that.
Welcome to spring break. Join us for this day. Sweep us all away before the night. When twilight comes, you'll see the light.
So you can hear a lot of reverb. Yeah, she was recorded here, but I added a lot of reverb and delay you can hear, and it's without the whole effects, it also sounds not as good as you would imagine. Even her English is perfect, but without all the effects, I'm gonna put them off for a second. Oh, I'm not messing anything up now. Let's see what she got without. Oh, Alison, forgive me if you're watching this right now.
Welcome to spring break.
So this is the vocals without any effects.
Join us for this
day. Okay, this is on the other line.
Sweep us all.
So you can hear it's really dry. There's nothing on, and that's where the producer starts to work. We add effects. We make it sound better, of course, or wider, or just fitting for the track. And yeah, I got to put them on again. I hope I'm not doing anything wrong again. Otherwise, I'm screwed. But now we can listen to the whole track and yeah, just have a listen how it sounds in a whole context, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Sweep us all away before the night. When twilight comes, you'll see the light. Sweep us all away before the night. Summer is calling.
So, yeah, that was the main part of the track, and
you'll see the light.
it's probably hard to hear, but there's a lot of more stuff going on than just the melody and the bass. There are a lot of noises, and I told you we have something recorded from the beat, and it's actually just under it. You can't actually hear it, but you can feel it. Something in yourself is saying, okay, it sounds like summer, or it feels like summer. And when you achieve that as a producer, I think you made a good job. If you can feel what the producer was thinking, I think it's a good track. It doesn't matter if it's successful or not. If you can feel what the producer wanted to say, then the producer did a good job in this track. And of course, it's not happening every time.
But we're sure you did already.
Yeah, well,
yeah. I'm 100% sure you did.
Okay, I'm not too sure about every track, but yeah, in this track, I'm quite positive I did. So.
Yeah, you can be. So
Okay.
We got another question
All right.
from the stream. But first of all, you said this is the main part. So, but the track also got other parts, except of break and main part, with melodies or the climax. Actually.
Yeah.
What are the other parts of the track?
Yeah, the other parts, this is the main part. Think about school. You always had, when you had to do an essay, you had to add an intro, a main part, and an ending, right? And sometimes we also direct our tracks in this way, but sometimes you also have more complicated stories which show the main part or the exciting main parts in the start for a short time, and then you go on with another scene. Think about a good movie. It happens all the time where you have a lot of elements from different situations. So we also do that here with the music, of course. Just
So how does this kind of introduction feel? So it's called the mid-intro, and you as Cellrock always use reverse bass lines. Can you just show us your mid-intro again?
Okay, I will. So
Summer is calling.
Okay, so now we got the question from Megiddo from stream, and he's a huge fan of reverse bass, and he really loves your work. He really appreciates your work, loves the new tracks already, but we will come to that later. So he got the question: if you do a track, do you decide to put in the bass line as you did in this track or in your other tracks before you start the track, or during the process of working on the track?
Okay, that's an excellent question. Again, I have to think about it for a second, but my heart just decides to put a bass in there. So, and it's a lot of times I just have a drive in the middle of two beats, and that's what we call a reverse bass when the bass is just between two kicks, right? And I just need the drive to feel happy here. So when I'm sitting here all day and you listen to one little part all the time and you don't like the bass, which is like the most important instrument in hardstyle ever, so I just cannot listen to it sometimes for 10 hours. Or it's perfect, or it's completely my style. So of course I look at the track and look at the the tempo and the dramatic stuff which is coming up. You know, you just cannot sometimes use the bass for the whole track. It has to be more action and more tension in the track. You know, but most of the times I just go for the reverse bass because I like it and it has the driving stuff I really need in a track.
Okay, so you basically don't really think about it. It just happens.
It just happens. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's nothing I think about. So.
Okay, very nice.
Or not much.
Yeah, that's how it should be. Music produced from the heart.
Where you got this from?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe
I don't see where you got this from. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Beside that, just a little. Next question. You actually work on a track, get it released. How's the feeling to get a track released? So like on Cellrock chords, how do you? So you do a lot of work, play it the first time at events. How is that? How would you describe it?
It's a big relief, you know. Like you work on the track for 40 or 50 hours, and it's like a appreciation that they say, okay, we want this track. It's awesome. We want to have it. We want to release it. We trust in it to be successful and make people dance. And that's why I became a producer. You know, like to make other people dance. So and if a label says, hey, we want to have it, that's it's just a big release or relief. You know. And when it's gonna get released, it's even more. You know, it's even better. So. It's the best thing you can imagine as a producer. Okay,
so you release a track and you're playing tracks on your own gigs. You got a lot of gigs. Tell us about some big gig or one big gig which is ahead of you. You're really looking forward.
Okay. Yeah. So there's of course the Dance Valley. You got to check out. We're on the Hardstyle Refinery stage. It's a tremendous party. I've been to. Countless parties, maybe over 200 parties, 300 parties, but Dance Valley is really special, and every artist I talked to last year, I played there last year also, was just blown away because they do everything for the artist and they understand, okay, the artist feel welcome, the people feel welcome, and that was the flow of the party. And Dance Valley is on the 2nd of August. And I'm gonna be on stage with DJ Thera from Thera, of course, and Frantic as the Thera Live. And it's gonna be massive. You gotta check it out. It's really awesome.
Okay, so you're gonna spin a particular track, maybe your new release. What track you're really happy to present there?
To be honest, I don't know which tracks we're gonna play because we have to meet. We still have to meet Frantic, Thera, and me to find a good combination of the set. But of course, my new 2 tracks, I want to play them. I produced them here for so many hours. Now I want to hear them.
What are the names?
One is Song of Siren, a Cellrock Song of Siren, and the other one is Drive the Compressor. Maybe some saw the Z compressor, so it's typically German. So and those 2 tracks, of course, might be on stage. You can listen to it, and I don't know how the website looks, but maybe you also can check out the links or check my Facebook site for the 2 tracks if you haven't heard them. They come out next week. On Thera, of course. So
not even released.
Yeah, it's not even. It's really hot stuff, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, really hot stuff.
By the way, really hot stuff. We got another question from the chat now, and it's from Justice, and he asks, "Where is his blue hat?"
Oh, my blue hat. You're talking about this.
Okay. There it is.
if you feel more welcome by me wearing it, you gotta know it's really hot in here. All the lamps here from the video team, so I decided not to wear it for today. But okay.
Yeah.
Is he feeling better now?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
and
He's relieved.
but now, as you got the head, there are already two great comments. First from DJ Terror, you're really looking good, Torben.
Okay.
The second one from DJ MKN. What is the secret of looking so sexy?
Ah,
Hashtag
okay.
no homo.
So actually, I know this guy who was writing me. He's the sexiest mother something from England. So I actually know this guy. So.
But by the way, looking good. You got a very specific style at Cellrock, and I see you got another glass.
Oh yeah,
here.
this
And
is a.
Yeah, tell us a bit more about the glasses and all the stuff.
Yeah, I just like the glasses. You know, like this glass. It sounds like the one synthesizer I just showed you, the horrible sounding one. But
the Game Boy.
with these glasses, you can see everyone in 8 bits, of course. So you can see a lot of pixels, and yeah, it's perfect glasses, right? I wore them on Loudness on a festival, indoor festival in Eindhoven, and yeah, look at them. Why shouldn't I wear them? I don't know why.
That's a good point. So you played him while you're DJing. You always got that specific outfit with that glasses and that. But what's the difference between DJing and producing? Because actually, there are completely two different jobs.
Yeah.
A lot of people think like DJs always play their music, but tell us a bit more. What is it? What is it all about?
Yeah. So actually, you're just watching at the producing process right now. So the producing is. You're here in a room, sitting lonely, when everybody's outside going to the beach. No, I'm kidding. But you are just staying here in the studio and you work on every sound. And if it's not matching on this very situation, you just adjust it or you tweak the sound completely. And you can adjust every sound of those 50 sounds. I can adjust every of those 50, right? But as a DJ, you're a little bit limited. But the job as a DJ is to have music going, right? And you just you play maybe 1 hour, you play 20 tracks, so you mix every track in each other, right? But the tracks you play, they're already done by people like me who are working 40 hours on one track, and yeah, that's the job of the DJ, right? And yeah.
Okay, so always talking about music. We got another question from the chat. We're always talking about music, but what would it be without music? First of all, how could you survive? How could you imagine a world without? And what do you do besides your music? And yeah. Yeah,
of course. I can't imagine that without living with music. Of course, I have a life besides the music, and I think it's really important not to think about it all the time and just let it happen and feel the music more than think about it. So I do a lot of sports. I play a lot of tennis, do a lot of fitness, and yeah, I'm happy with my girlfriend. So there are a lot of things to do, and yeah, that would be the life without music. But something would miss, of course, you know.
So, but you can't imagine a world without you making music.
No, actually I can't, because it's just chilling to me. I just feel very it feels very right, you know, when I do music. So I'm just gonna stick with that.
Okay, so I got a personal question. When was the first time you came in contact with hardstyle?
Okay, that's a good question, because I was listening to similar music before it was called hardstyle, you know, like. We had some records from Tracid Tracks. It was an old label, maybe founded in 2000, and I had my first vinyls back then. And yeah, it was just like a very hard trancey sound. So from hard trance coming, and yeah, and it got harder with the years. And yeah. 2002 or 3, there were a lot of tracks coming out with a similar style, and it got a little bit harder, maybe because of the influence of hardcore or something. But yeah, a new music was born. Everybody was listening to it, and you could hear it. It sounded different than hardcore or hard trance. So yeah, that's when I jumped on the train and was listening to it every day, and I still do after 11 years or so.
Okay, so we'll go on with a few questions. I think you're nearly over, but we got another few questions from the chat and the comments. So you already talked about a lot about tarot cards and you like it. Was this the reason why you entered tarot cards? So the things you described, the familiar atmosphere. So was there any other opportunity asked from justice?
Does he mean other opportunity for
Yeah, kind of
another label, or
why did you specifically choose tarot cards to release your tracks? Why did you enter tarot cards?
I think I mentioned it already,
Yeah.
but so one of them is because I knew it's gonna be a nice working team. So I had some other labels in my past, and they were nice guys, but there was no contact, just maybe email contact, and once a month or something. And yeah, so Tarot Cards, I knew we have good communication, and it's a good team. And of course, I'm friends with Peter for a long time. And also, I have a place where I can release my music for good broadcast, you know. Like I want my tracks to have a label which is open for my music, you know. I just don't want to change myself for a label, and I did this in the past with other projects. I sent my music to the label, and the label said, you change this and this and this, and then we're gonna take it. And sometimes in the end, I was just like, it was just emailing, and you just get so annoyed, and in the end I didn't even like the track anymore. I was just happy to get it released. And I know that was one of the reasons I don't want to have on the next label. And I knew the Tarot Cards were happy with my sound design, happy with my style, and yeah, they're just open for it. So.
Okay, so you talk a lot about your tracks, and you feel really comfortable with Tarot Cards. Now we got another question from Johan, and he asked about a particular track. Songs of Siren is just insane, he says, and he asks, how much time did you spend on that track? Do you know approximate time?
Yeah, well, you never can answer this question perfectly, but I also would say maybe about 40 hours. Of course, as hardstyle producers have one thing, and it's the making of the kick. And it's not like, okay, I make it in 1 hour, but it's a process which just developed over years. So maybe a kick took maybe 1 month of time. So maybe the whole kick was just 40 hours or 50 hours. You cannot know. But the track itself, I'm pretty quick with arranging and everything because I'm a little bit more experienced. But it's still a lot of time, you know, even if you know how to do it, right?
Yeah, it's always a lot of tweaking and creative work.
Yeah, creative.
Yeah, always new things you find. So another question from Evil Spaghetti is, what are your main strengths? So concerning the music, you already said making a kick, arranging, and he asks which elements of the track, of the music are your key strengths? Is it the kick, the melody, the screech, the pad, and the arranging? I think it's also one of yours you already mentioned, but besides that, from the sound design.
Yeah. Okay, I think it's a drive.
Okay.
It's just the drive and the tempo of the track, and just keeping alive again. And that's why I work with the reverse bass line, because it pushes you, and it's not too dull, but it's always pushing you, and you can listen it to for a long time, and it's always driving. So I would call the whole bass line.
So the bass line, the kick, the drive.
Yeah.
Okay, so another question.
There are a lot of questions today.
Now, when we slightly are coming to the end, they are all coming. First of all, it's from Michi, and he needs to get rid of a compliment. So first of all, he's really happy that we do that, a cool thing. Do we do that more often? Do you plan to do a live stream or an interactive way of communicating with your fans more often?
Okay, I would love to. I don't know if it's possible like this, because I can't get the facts right now, but of course a live stream is really cool, but the arranging and everything is, of course, a lot of work. And maybe you can even see how much work it is. But yeah, I'm not gonna say completely no, but I will try.
We will see.
Let's see. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we will see.
Okay.
So until I'm waiting for 3 other people typing their question at the moment.
Okay.
Let's finish them off and then we are done, I think.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go.
What is the difference between your earlier projects and Cellrock, especially when it's coming to DJing? Because we already said, you said DJing is a complete different work from producing. Is there any difference for you?
Yeah, of course. In my old projects, I was barely alone. You know, like Twilight Force was together with Ingo, and Overminds was a live act, so something completely new. And now, of course, I'm alone on stage, and also if you're with two guys and you're almost perfectly from the sound, you match each other. You have a little bit more freedom playing alone as a DJ. So, and yeah, you just. I think that's the answer. Okay,
so another question from Joyce, and she writes, well, most questions already got asked.
Okay.
Thanks for all the questions already from the comments and the chat. So she has seen Torben in the Netherlands, so she's seen you in the Netherlands already a lot of times.
Okay.
And she really enjoyed that. She now got she's wondering, will we see you in Germany playing a Cellrock?
Yeah, she will. She will. I cannot talk about it. Sometimes you get booked at the party, but it's the organizations want to keep the lineup, so I cannot tell you. But I'm definitely gonna play in Germany very soon, so I can say that.
So you often see, please come here and play. Please come here and play.
Yeah, sure.
On a lot of artists' page.
Yeah.
But is there any way to influence that very play, or is it how does that work? How do you get your gigs actually?
Yeah, there actually you have to write an email to Cellrock. Of course, you can direct. Just go to me and ask me, but I'm always going the professional way over Ingrid from Cellrock, and she's managing all the bookings there. So she's the expert there, and she knows how to handle everything, because there's a lot of things you have to know before you can book. You have to know the date and maybe a flight or a transportation way, and so she does the bookings.
A lot of administration work.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go to that Cellrock's booking website and click on Cellrock to book you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the best question ever from the chat: why do you have to click on Cellrock? Why Cellrock? Why not another name? Why? How did you come to the name Cellrock? Which will be our last question for today.
Okay, that's the hardest question today,
so
because it came a little bit naturally. I had the idea of some blood cells just rocking the shit. So yeah, that was the idea. So, but it could be another name also. But I really liked it, so I'm gonna stick with that. I think I like it.
Okay. So thanks,
You're
Torben,
welcome.
for answering all the people's questions, all my questions.
Yeah, no problem. You're
It was
welcome.
a huge pleasure to be here.
Yeah, the same.
And tell me your last words.
Yeah, well, definitely check out Dance Valley in 2 weeks. I think it's close to Amsterdam. You will find it on the internet. It's a huge party. You have to be there. And of course, check out my Facebook page for the last 2 releases. My aim is to make people dance. So check out my music, and if you can support it, it's just €1 sometimes, one track. I know a lot of people are downloading it. I did it also when I was 16 or so, but it's just €1. So support our music. And hardstyle is not the biggest music in the world. So there's a lot of pop music, and they all earn a lot of money. But the hardstyle producers are not the rich people, you gotta know. So that's the main story. Okay.
Yeah. So thank you, Thanks also to the team who made this all possible.
Okay.
Goodbye, Torben.
Bye bye.